Previously on St. Elsewhere.
We promised the Galeckis they could have the baby for a while.
Ken has decided to go along with adopting a child.
Must have been the aneurysm in her brain.
You were supposed to see your baby. I don't even know her name.
Mr. Taft has designated St. Eligius to be the recipient of the deed to an apartment building.
What are we going to do with the building?
Perhaps housing for our residents.
Maybe a shelter for the homeless?
Luther, I know you'd be a terrific assistant, but you're talking years of college.
I'm sure there's a way around that.
No, there isn't, because the state won't certify you.
Sick and tired of this. Everyone treats me like they're maid. Mop. 4 years I'm Mr. Clean. I should shave my head and pierce my ear. Do you have to walk across my clean floor?
How else was I supposed to get out of the room, Luther?
Try a window.
How very droll. Mr. Knack needs help getting to the bathroom.
So help him.
I have to go and study for boards that are coming up next week. Anyway, that's your job.
I hope he doesn't have buttoses.
You know, you look terrific today.
Thank you. At least I got it together in time to catch the crosstown bus.
Your car in the shop?
Nope, sold a convertible to make next year's tuition.
Well, look, I drive right past your neighborhood. I'd be glad to pick you up or drop you off whenever you like.
Great, you're on.
Now, don't forget about next week. Doctor of the Year dinner.
Yeah, how could I forget? It's our first real date. Oh, Helen. Mrs. Schlesinger needs her Catholics.
You write it, we'll give it.
Welcome home, Jeff. The little general's out on furlough.
Yeah. Richard's gone over to Falmouth to pick him up. First time I'll be seeing Jeff since he was shipped off to military school.
You sent your son away?
Believe me, I feel terrible about it, but he was out of control. There was nothing else I could do.
And the buzzhead was already trained in the use of weapons. 4 marriages, 5 children. You sure throw caution to the wind.
Sometimes I think I should have been more careful.
Well, you act on your impulses. Daring.
You consider every angle smart.
Yeah, smart. If I was so smart, why'd Mr. Barfin die on me this morning?
Even though Mrs. Huberman's EKG is normal, left ventricular hypertrophy may present. Final confirmation should be made by cardiac catheterization. Chandler, why is your name on this flyer?
Because I'm an organizer of tonight's protest at Woodfield Medical Center.
What protest?
Well, we're trying to pressure them into divesting their financial holdings in South Africa.
I see.
Dr. Craig, I'm trying to encourage people to come to tonight's demonstration. Now, what's happening in South Africa is a violation of human rights. Segregation, denial of free speech and assembly. A systematic repression of the popular majority.
I haven't been to a demonstration since the Cambodia incursion.
Incursion? There's a word you don't hear much anymore.
Hattie and Falele is speaking tonight.
Who?
South African activist. She's leading the anti-apartheid group here in Boston.
Why don't you try reading the newspaper, huh? And find out something.
No, thanks. I'm not ready for my morning sit-down in the John.
A member of the Zulu Nation said that divestment's hurting South African blacks.
Well, Gumede's just a pawn.
Falele, Mayday, let's call the whole thing off.
Victor, some things you just don't joke about.
I joke about everything.
Well, that's because you're a nuthead. I'm all for change, but personally, I think it's a mistake to cheer on a revolution in Cape Town. We divest, the place falls apart, and here come the Russians. But regardless of whether or not I agree with Dr. Chandler, I admire him for taking a stand, which is more than I can say for you, Warwick. Wade, you're up.
All right. We've been meeting here for almost 3 months. We're here to comfort each other. Yet so far, no one has ever touched, offered a handkerchief, nothing. You've all been wallowing individually in your own grief. And since no one seems capable of sharing sorrow, maybe it's time we shared a laugh. When's the last time any of you had a good chuckle? I want everybody to get down on the floor and put their heads on everybody else's stomach. Okay?
What?
Move the chairs back. Right. Frida? Lie down on your back and put your head right there. That's right. Use my midriff as a pillow. That's it. That's it.
That's crazy.
Now, a little farther up here. Right there. Good. Okay. Donna, yeah. Ellen, come on.
Hey.
Good. Carrie, come on. Okay. Now, I'm going to say ha. And as we go around, everybody adds another ha.
This is stupid.
No, this is ha-ha. Okay? Ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. I've been dreaming about hell in my son's soul, and he's tormented, not at peace, and I can't help him. Ever since Barbara's been away with her other grandparents, I've been afraid for her. I don't want her to die without being baptized. Why don't you live in the real world?
What do you mean, Carrie?
At least you have a grandchild. When my son Rocky died, my family excuse me. Okay. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey, hello, darling.
Hello. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Hello, Mother. How's everything on the home front?
Come on, soldier. At ease.
You got so tall.
It's the uniform.
What's your favorite? Devil's food cake.
Let's dig in.
I'm not going to eat that cake because I love it.
I don't understand.
Read Will by G. Gordon Liddy. A man's desires can be controlled by denying self-indulgence.
I can tell this is going to be a great day.
Peanuts sitting on the railroad track. His heart was all a flutter.
The 5:15 came rushing by. Choo-choo. Peanut butter, peanut butter.
You can't keep it here forever.
Just so the sepsis clears up.
Roxanne, her infection's long gone. Deborah Redding's baby has to be turned over to child welfare.
And what, you get swallowed up by your sister?
Someone will adopt her.
Maybe. But you know the chances of a black baby finding a home aren't very good. I tried locating family. All I found was Deborah's brother, who couldn't have cared less that his sister died or left behind a newborn. Sleep-tight princess. Back in Blue Creek, if this would have happened, just about any family would have taken their baby in, no questions asked.
Yeah, well, Boston's a long way from Blue Creek.
How about dinner tonight at Davio's?
No, we can't. Apartheid rally, remember? Woodfield Medical Center?
That's right. Why don't I meet you there? I'm gonna take another stab at trying to locate Deborah's family. She's a sweet girl. She would have wanted me to do everything I could to help that little one.
Roxanne, the Eddings baby's not your responsibility.
She would be if I adopted her.
Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me?
Oh, Luther.
Again? I just took Mr. Knapp to the bathroom. It was a false alarm.
Well, this time he's sure he smells smoke, and I've got to get the meds out.
Donald, Terry Belair, an architect who specializes in historic renovations, is going to be in my office in half an hour. We're going to discuss renovating the Taft apartment house.
Yeah, ever since we inherited that building, I've been trying to think of the best way to use it.
Me too. Low-cost housing for the residents. I've spoken to most of them, and they seem enamored of the idea.
Yeah, well, I think we ought to sit down and talk about it, consider all the possibilities.
We will. Mrs. Belair has some wonderful ideas.
I think it'd make a terrific shelter for homeless people.
There's even going to be a room set aside for child care.
Yeah. Something about Novena really works for me. Maybe it's those little white socks and sneakers.
And she's always so friendly.
Maybe it's her nice round glutes.
You think she'd ever go out with a resident?
Never know till somebody asks.
How's it going, Mr. Knapp?
No go. Just guess. Better come help me back to my bed.
Love it.
I can't get over the changes in my little Jeffrey. His interests have expanded so. I left him having a conversation even I didn't understand in the CAT scan room.
It probably reminded him of a field trip to the sub-base in New London.
Quick as that will say.
No problem, my little English scone.
Been a long time.
1967.
68.
December.
January.
Ellen, would you mind filling in the blanks?
Oh, I'm sorry. Richard, I'd like you to meet Edgar Eisenberg, my first husband.
We work together side by side. Who'd want to live together side by side, too?
It'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, like dorm life at Swarthmore.
I have student loans up the Hassenpfeffer. Low rent's my ticket. Look at this. Over 1,000 people died in South Africa in the last 17 months due to racial violence.
I hear there are only 18 units, all 2 bedrooms.
So you pick yourself up a roomie, preferably somebody who's never there, like Jacob.
Hi, guys.
Carol, you snore?
Well, what are we talking about here?
Oshlander House, resident co-op.
Yeah, well, I don't think med students are invited. Oh, God, feels great out.
Then leave it out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carol. That was screwed.
No problem.
Really? How about a date, then?
No.
Anybody hear anything about Boomer?
I called the spokes the other day. They said Jack didn't want to speak.
Ladies and sunbathers,
Hey, Chandler, what time's the rally?
7 o'clock. Everybody gonna be there?
Oh, nuts. I'm being here for the bar for nonsense.
Okay, Phil, count me in.
You're coming in here in Fillet Street?
I don't think it's right for a hospital to benefit from the suffering of oppression.
Oh, yeah, Victor. What's the punchline?
There's no punchline. I feel I should be there.
Why? Because you don't have to do your laundry until tomorrow?
That's not funny. True. It's not funny.
Are you looking for me?
Ah, Luther. Guess who says he's sure he's got to go this time?
Mr. K. Knapp.
Tell him to give it the old college try.
Yeah, and boot one for the Gipper.
Lucy, have you seen Jeffrey?
He and Craig got to talking about mass units in Korea. Jeff got invited down to observe in the OR and pulled down the fort.
Jeff.
My youngest, by my fourth husband.
Sorry I won't get to meet the rest of your family. I just stopped by to ask about our new son-in-law.
Well, I can't tell you much. So far, I've had 2 postcards and 1 candygram from Zurich. But Marcy and Klaus sound terrific.
How come I wasn't invited to the wedding?
No one was. Do you know I wouldn't have even known Marcy got married if Julie hadn't opened her big mouth?
Julie.
She's my 3rd eldest by my 2nd husband.
Oh, right, Alan Silverman, my divorce attorney. No wonder he wanted me to give you the house.
How do you like Tampa?
Not there much. Spent a lot of time driving around the country. Selling hats. So, Clarendon is your 5th.
We live together. Guess you could call him 4 1/2.
Looks more like a 7 3/4 to me. Just a little half humor.
Edgar, would you care to have dinner with us tonight?
I can't. But let's get together for a nightcap later.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll call you at the hotel.
You know I still love you.
Look, Opal, was you the hotshot social worker in this hospital? I thought we had a deal.
It's been a month. Social services backed off for as long as we could. The Eddings child was healthy enough to leave.
I wanted to stay.
Roxanne, the baby has no parents or legal guardian. She's now a ward of the state.
That little girl is starting out life on the short side. Her mother didn't have much, but they were going to make a better life together.
Foster homes don't exactly serve cold bowls of gruel 3 times a day. And as soon as good parents can be found, she'll be placed with a loving family.
What if she was privately adopted?
Any ideas?
Me.
You sure that's the best way to help this baby?
Something's got to be done. When her mother first came to me, she didn't know zip about pregnancy. I had to convince her that the baby was alive inside of her. But she trusted me.
I know how much you care. But the child needs more than that. She needs constant attention.
There are plenty of good single mothers in the world today.
Look, take the night to think about it. If you're serious, we'll talk tomorrow before the woman from Child Welfare comes to pick the baby up.
Well, first, we drill into these bricks and insert steel rods. You're going to need some more support for these floors. Oh, and also, all the windows and casements will have to be replaced.
By using double-pane glass and other energy-saving devices, we could make this building fuel efficient.
Oh, sure. But considering the shape of the structure, that's the least of your worries.
Well, Mrs. Valère, from what you've said so far, resurrecting this building sounds unreasonable.
Oh, Dr. Westphal, you have got a wonderful old building here. Designed in 1857 by Gordon Y. There were only 15 like this in Boston. 3 remain standing.
Well, what other construction is indicated?
We'll lower the ceilings 1.5 feet for heat and air, rewire to code, and replumb.
Any estimates from the contractor?
Well, he'll get a large break for historic renovation.
Ballpark.
$500,000.
Mrs. Villar, assuming we'd want to go ahead, when could you start?
We'll do the work in stages, the most essential first.
And what would you consider essential?
Making sure the building doesn't collapse.
Oh, Carol, hi. A coincidence, I'm just out of Harvard Med myself, so if you need any pointers, like with your clerkship or something, I'll be happy to help you. Maybe over dinner or something.
Oh, I appreciate that, Elliot, but I gotta pass.
Just in case you want to know, Mr. Knapp is 0 for 4. What are you doing?
My glove inspection. I hope you pass.
How would you like to pass the boxing glove inspection?
What's the matter with you, Luther? You got rabies or something?
Personal problems. Boy, you doctors can't have a bad day around here unless you have a college degree. The only thing I'm good for around here is keeping this place spick and span.
You're not even good at that.
Hey, come here. Where's your mom?
Upstairs.
Good. Don't you ever do that again.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sally's living? How's she living? She living in the country, gonna move to town. She gonna shake those hips till the sun go down. She never went to college. She never went to school. But when she got back, she was an educated fool. To the front, to the back, to the side. Donna, nobody's punching. Donna, nobody's punching. Sweetness.
And I ask you to send a message of hope to the people of South Africa. We must persuade Woodfield Medical Center, this institution of mercy, to be merciful.
You seen Roxanne anyway?
No.
I wonder where the hell she could be.
Phil Booby, now's not the time. Pay attention to what the young lady's saying.
You're really into this, aren't you?
You guys were right today in rounds. I've had my head buried in the sand. Time to reach out and stretch my hands across the water.
I didn't know you had it in you, Ehrlich.
You kidding? Takes me back to my days in Berkeley. Mario Savio, free speech movement, riots in People's Park. I had a subscription to the Black Panther newsletter.
See those expensive European cars? They belong to the Board of Trustees, who are meeting now to discuss these hospitals' investment portfolio. If they can be intractable, so can we. I ask you to join me in preventing them from leaving the grounds until they reverse their position and agree to divest.
Wait, where are you going?
Look, do you think apartheid is wrong?
Showing support's one thing, but breaking the law is another. I don't want to end up in jail.
Either with us or you're against us.
Wait a second. I've got surgery in the morning.
Put your butt where your mouth is.
Oh, Mark, I cleared everything with Reverend Jameson. The baptismal ceremony can take place tomorrow afternoon as soon as the Galeckis arrive with Barbara, so we can all be together.
Well, that's fine and dandy, Ellen, except I told you, I'm not going back into that church.
Well, then we'll have it in the chapel at the hospital.
Maybe you don't understand my subtext. I don't give a holy heck whether Barbara is baptized or not. Well, it's about time. I ordered the sink-a-dink for Barbara 3 weeks ago.
Mark, your baptismal gown, it must be in the attic.
Ellen, let me make this clear. I don't want Barbara baptized.
Why?
All my life, I've been a good boy. And in return, I believe that God would reward me and protect my family. Yeah, well, he reneged on his part of the bargain. And I'll never forgive him.
Mark, I don't care what you say. I talked this over with Dr. Weiss, and he agrees that I have every right to do this. The ceremony's going to take place whether you're there or not.
Well, what the hell is this anyway?
Federal mediator, huh? You involved in United Brotherhood of Hat Blockers strike last year?
Settled it in one negotiation.
Must have been a real feather in your cap, huh? Oh, Dick, I want to thank you for looking after Marcy.
Terrific girl. But I could never replace her father.
Well, many men have tried.
Excuse me, I'm going to tootle off the little boy's room.
Helen, you are more beautiful than when we met. I'll never forget that day.
We were so young.
Walking through St. John's Wood, watching the sunrise at Stonehenge, making love at Beachy Head, with a man and a woman.
Edgar. Don't.
In the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I order you to disperse. You are conducting an unlawful assembly. If you do not disperse, you will be arrested.
Nobody move! Nobody move!
All right, move in. Get over here, Bill.
You can't do that. Bill! 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 Come on! Bill! Hey! All right, Weiss. Now, just whose confetti do you think you're shredding?
Hello, Mark.
Don't give me that.
Have a seat.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? First you get me to sit down, then to lie down. Next, my psyche is strewn all over the room like dirty linen. Besides, this couch needs reupholstering.
What exactly is your problem?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Listen, I'm not here about me.
Ellen.
I sent her to you in good faith. And all you've done is put ideas in her head. Like redecorating my office, or a plaque for Stephen at the Colgate pool. Barbara's baptism.
Ellen is making wonderful progress, confronting her grief and moving on with her life. And instead of coming in here huffing and puffing, you should try and do the same.
Oh, boy. You psychiatrists are really something. Always pinning the tail on someone else's donkey, Next, you'll be telling me I wasn't properly toilet trained. Listen, mister, I can wring it out with the best of them. From now on, stay out of my life and away from my wife. And this should be hung like so.
I've spent a night in jail since I met Roberta. You know, that mace is powerful stuff.
Thought you were used to all of this after your days of rage at Berkeley.
Well, any days of rage for me, personally, that is. Never stood up for anything in my life. Always chickened out. I watched the evening news in the 60s, kids getting cracked in the head with billy clubs. It always scared me. I've always felt guilty, too, you know, letting other people take the lumps for me. Last night, I got caught up in the spirit, finally.
Okay.
Lunch?
Nope. Enough is enough. Prunes and Tabasco sauce. I'm gonna unclog Mr. Knapp.
Hi, sweetie, you're too close.
Mom! Mother. The firing line's not on yet.
Let's sit down and talk. Are you sure you really want to spend the last day at home here in the hospital?
Yeah, this is where the action is.
So tell me about school.
Mother, I was a real sad sack before you sent me to the academy. I'm ashamed to think what a useless piece of flesh I was.
Jeffrey, you are a wonderful boy. Abusive sometimes, but...
But now I'm a leader.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Stevie Sherwin's always asking about you.
He's a woman.
He and the other kids have finished that treehouse down at Hemminger's Ravine.
And the big oak tree by the creek? I started that.
Well, in any case, I'm glad to have you home here with me.
Homes for mothers and babies. Next month we have field maneuvers. Could you come?
Yes, of course.
Time for Mr. License to jocks.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about Jeff. I liked him better before.
Me too.
Mr. Ed Tyler, please report to the cashier. Mr. Ed Tyler, please report to the cashier.
Ehrlich, you were supposed to assist me on Mr. Danton's bypass.
I was gassed, sir.
Sleeping off a hangover?
No, sir. At the apartheid rally, I was maced standing up for my beliefs. I even spent the night in a Who Scout.
Boy, what a moron.
I thought you'd be proud of me. You said on rounds yesterday that...
Your politics are no concern of mine.
I don't feel so well.
But when your personal credo stands in the way of your work, you can be sure you'll see me in your rearview mirror. Now get cleaned up and back to work.
Must be the mace. Oh, boy.
Ehrlich!
I'm sorry. This won't affect my third-year status, will it, sir?
You can count on it.
Hey.
I hope you slept better than I did last night.
Where have you been?
Jail. Inciting a riot.
Why didn't you call me? I could have bailed you out.
Roxanne, I didn't need you to bail me out. Where the hell were you?
I stayed here with Deborah Eddings' baby.
I'm sure she appreciated that.
I needed to spend some time with her to make a decision. And I think I've got an answer.
I bet you do.
You're mad.
No, I'm not mad.
I was trying to take care of a child.
People are fighting a battle in South Africa for blacks everywhere. Now, that should be important to you.
It is. But babies come before politics.
Somebody fought to desegregate Ole Miss so that you could go to school to become a doctor. Now, you have a responsibility.
Since when are you my conscience? Is suffering going on halfway around the world more important than what's happening under your own nose?
I got things to do.
The women's room. I need to hide.
From what?
Men.
You came to the right place.
Oh, Jackie. When you met Robert, what made you sure you wanted to get involved?
He drove a red Corvette. High school sweethearts, my first love.
Sounds like Edgar and me. Only he drove a Nash and we weren't in high school.
Right. You fell in love because of the cars.
No, because of where we went in those cars and what we did.
And because of the movie A Man and a Woman.
I fall in love with any man who can beat me at arm wrestling. God, it's gross, Dan. I thought it was supposed to be cold today. Well, when it comes to romance, I am totally confused.
That's what love's all about.
Let me tell you something. You never get over your first great love. Seeing my ex rekindled all the old flames, and Edgar knew just what buttons to push.
Ellen, you sound like a Patsy Cline song. You know that practically every man in this hospital has hit on me. Strangers in the hall, staff members, residents, even Elliot.
What wonderful seeing Edgar last night. Must have been some good reasons why I left him. Why can't I think of any one of them now?
A strict Italian family. After puberty, they sent me away to an all-girls school. Always wanted to be with the boys, but didn't know what to do with them. No one can blame me for being cautious. Can I borrow your brush?
I hate my hair.
I'm meeting with the board in 15 minutes to discuss funding Taft House.
Well, I think Mrs. Valera's plan for renovation is awful damned expensive, Daniel. Is that a large filling defect in the liver?
Actually, I think there are several. You're just looking at the largest. Could be a cyst or a tumor.
Yeah, you're right. Your eyes are better than mine.
I hope you'll come along and support me on this.
No, afraid I can't, Daniel.
I backed you on your outreach proposals.
Mm-hmm. Is that because they were good programs, or is it because we're good friends?
Both.
No. I think $500,000 is too much to spend for brick and mortar. There are better ways to help people.
You're a shelter for the homeless.
No, at these costs, even that's out of the question. No. Okay, filling defect would follow polycystic kidney disease. I'd better get an ultrasound just to make sure.
If you're not going to be on my side, please stay out of my way.
Daniel, explain something to me. Why are you so bent on pursuing this project?
Colonel, we've been friends for 31 years. I shouldn't have to explain myself to you.
Ah, Luther. Thought you might like to know your prune and Tabasco cocktail did the trick. Mr. Knapp's bowel function finally returned.
Figured it would.
In his bed.
I helped a man to the bathroom 5 times. At least he could have made it to the pot.
Keep your voice down. This is a more humiliating experience for Mr. Knapp than it is for you.
Well, I'm not mad at Mr. Knapp, but I mean, I'm tired of being the human pooper scooper.
Well, I don't care about that right now, because while we're debating your duties, Mr. Knapp is lying in his.
And when Ken and I found out we couldn't have a child normally, we panicked.
You telling me? I watched you go at each other. So how are you two doing now?
Oh, we're fine. But you know, trying to adopt a baby hasn't been any easier than making one. We waited 1 whole month just to get an appointment with an agency. Then we spent a month sending inquiries to out-of-state doctors, who all told us the very same thing. There are very few infants available. Please be patient.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Dr. Turner, you picked a bad time for a fire drill. It's Prophet taking down the big board.
Yeah, put this on.
I like the beard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to wake up in the morning and kiss the fuzzy. But...
No.
Well, what's going on?
Come here.
Dr. Steve versus
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Turner, why this tour through Fantasyland?
The mother died just after giving birth. I want this little girl to have a head start in life with people who love her. See how she feels. And if you like, she's yours.
Trying to drop a couple for the chickie?
What?
Carol Davino. Helen tells me that you chasing her up the back stairs.
No, I'm just taking what Daniel calls a little afternoon schwitz.
You need cold water. Listen, about my yelling at you in the last department head meeting.
Don't worry about it, Mark. Thanks. Ellen invited me to Barbara's baptism.
Oh, yeah, well, she's trying to fill the house.
Oh, come on, Mark. I think it's nice.
You, the man who views religion as a creation of Hallmark cards?
Yeah. It's true, my ties to an organized church aren't very strong, but still I have faith.
In what?
A higher power, a greater good, something.
Well, I don't want my granddaughter spoon-fed, preachy pablum. Just sets her up for a big letdown.
Yeah, but still, Mark, kids need some kind of guidance, morality, if you will, at least till they're old enough to make up their own minds. Like it or not, my friend, to get through life's pains, we need something to believe in.
Even so, I don't know why I should put her through a useless ritual.
What is a baptism? What's a bar mitzvah? What's a wedding? Just signifies the beginning, doesn't it? Speaking of which, I'm finished.
I don't know.
Are you still looking for a reason?
Well, yeah.
Do it for Ellen.
Nice. Reminds me of the first flat we moved into.
Well, it's either here or the morgue for privacy.
Fine with me.
I've been doing a lot of thinking since last night.
Me too.
Seeing you again brought back a flood of memories.
Like making love punting on the Thames. I really got a kick out of that.
Keep your hands off the light switch. And me. And just listen. Last night when I was trying to fall asleep, I was imagining what the last 20 years would have been like if we hadn't divorced.
Our separation was a mistake.
When we got married, you were a perfectly capable man. But you demanded all my attention, all my energy. I married you because you seemed like a person who knew where he was going, somebody I could follow.
You still can.
No. I've spent my life following men from one relationship to another. It's time to stick with the choice I make.
So you're staying with Dick.
I call him Richard.
To me, he looks like
Edgar. You know, in some ways, I'll always love you. But in more ways, I'll always hate your guts.
Equalizer. I want one of the big wheels to catch you dawdling.
Who cares? What are they gonna do, fire me? You're doing me a favor. 4 years of being poked by old needles. Cleaning ER after trauma surgery. Washing the x-ray room because some guy couldn't make it to the bathroom after a barium enema. I'm the afterman. I come last. I'm the guy with the broom and the shovel behind the circus parade.
Go be a paramedic full time.
I don't want to be a paramedic.
So quit.
What am I gonna do? This job is crappy, but it's better than not knowing.
Well, then don't quit.
That's easy for you to say. You're who you want to be.
I learned last night I can make a difference. At least try.
Hi, Jeffrey old pal.
I'm waiting in the car.
Ed's gone.
Yeah, I know. I saw him on the way out. Gave me a hat. He seemed like a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, he's... Here you go.
Okay, I've got a... Hello, sweetheart.
I remembered why I left him. Edgar didn't want me to go out with the girls. He wanted to go out with the girls. You and the kids are what's important to me now. For the first time in my life, I really feel like I have a family. I want to hang on to that.
Request permission to speak. I'm due back at 2200 hours. If I'm late, I get 3 demerits and I have to clean the latrines with my toothbrush.
I'll start the car.
Thank you for letting me watch you in OR, sir.
You're a good boy.
See you around midnight.
I'll have Julie pick me up. Jeffrey, I love you.
Mom?
What, darling?
Nothing. Can I come back? Please, I'll be good. So good. Please, let me come back. Please.
Yes, you can. I'd like that very much. Yes.
Later, Mom.
Come on, we'll stop for ice cream on the way home.
No way. I want the Dale Devil's food cake. Hit it, Fender.
Roxanne, wait a second. Look, before you left for Mississippi, you said how all my education hadn't taught me how fragile people are.
I was angry with you, Chandler. You hurt me.
Yeah, well, I've been hurt a lot lately, too, and, at the Crisis Intervention Center, I couldn't do anything. This little girl called me for help, and she shot herself while we were talking, telling me about all the problems. I just don't think I can take suffering up close anymore. I don't know, maybe I'm better at dealing with far-off issues.
You care about helping the world. Not enough people do. Growing up in the city, you were exposed to so much. You got your news from television. I got mine over a back fence from people. One-on-one. That's what I know best. Not issues.
That's why we could help each other. We'd be a good team. We could balance each other out.
First, you and I have to learn to get along. The rush to the parking lot.
Hello, everybody.
Here's my little girl.
Hello, darling. Joe.
Oh, yes. Where are the Galeckis?
Gone back to Clinton.
Mark, what did you say to him?
Have a safe trip and look out for the radar around Albany.
Didn't they want to stay for the christening?
They felt it redundant. You see, Ellen, the Galeckis have already had Barbara baptized.
Oh, well, good.
Not really. She's going to be on a first-name basis with the Pope.
I don't understand.
She's Catholic. Is there any way of undoing that?
No.
Well, I just wish I could have been there. You know, when Stephen was baptized and the minister sprinkled the water on his head, he just let out a little coo, smiled sweetly. Swimmer from the start. Well, all right. I'll just tell Reverend Jameson to go on home.
No, wait a minute. We came for a christening, damn it. We're going to have one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a double coat of shellac. Hey! Hey, Jameson. Long time no see.
Dashland. At the end of another chemo cycle, huh?
Thank God.
How's everything going with your building on Buell Street?
The board rejected my idea that we sell the place. Undoubtedly, it will fall to a wrecker's board.
Sorry to hear that.
Maybe it's for the best. I realize now that I wanted that building not only as a place for the residents, but also as a monument to myself, a tombstone, if you will. Whenever I'm in a chemo cycle, I become acutely aware of the lengthening shadows of my life. I was wrong to try to perpetuate my memory in that way.
You'll be remembered for all the things you've done for people here. Not me.
Luther, what you do is very important.
Not as important as this.
You hate your job, don't you? Primary care physician's assistant. Northeastern has an excellent curriculum.
Can't sign up at Northeastern until I complete 2 years of junior college.
Who told you that?
Dr. Westfall said it's the law. Love this hospital. But every day I just wish I could do more. Save lives. I know I could be a good PA. But all the signs say forget it.
Perhaps there is a way.
Yeah, I practice without a license and I go to jail.
You could become my assistant and work with me until you finish junior college.
You do that for me? You sure it's okay?
We'll play inside the system. Bend the rules a bit.
Thanks, Dashland. You do know it's going to take 3 years of night school to complete junior college.
Don't worry, Luther. I promise you I'll live until your graduation.